That's my hair.
Welcome to Meet the Author, where you can join in on insightful conversations with best-selling and award-winning indie published authors. Your hosts today are Rob and Joan, who themselves are indie published authors, book publicists, and paranormal investigators with Tampa Bay Spirits, based in Tampa Bay, Florida. Thanks for dropping by. And now, on with the show.
Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Joan. Thank you for coming to the show, for being in our audience, whether you're watching us live tonight or if you're watching a rewind of this later on. We're glad that you decided to join us. Also, all of you who will be listening on to our podcast, we're really glad that you decided to be in the audience of our show.
That's right. I want to remind everybody about the Voice of Indie podcast immediately following our show. It's on blogtalkradio.com. That's where you're going to have to go. Host Beam Weeks and Stephen Gary G's bring the indie authors on every Wednesday. And this week's guest is Paul DeBlasi, and he's featured on indiebooksource.com. His books can be found there. So drop by there and you can see what he's all about.
Yeah.
And
what kind of books does he write? Spooky ones.
Spooky, yeah. His covers are very spooky for sure.
Yeah.
I want to remind everybody about Episode Rewind. Episode Rewind this week, Saturday night, right where you're watching right now, if you're watching the show live, at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the U.S. This Saturday, the featured author is none other than Joe Conjol, author of the Razman series.
Oh, neat.
Yes. So you want to watch that. That was a good one.
I think he's still on vacation. So
well, I think he's going to try to be here tonight. So
right.
We might hear him piping up here in a moment.
Yeah. Oh.
Don't worry. He'll pipe up. There he is. Hi,
hello,
Joe.
Rob and
Welcome
Joan.
back.
Joe Conjol says, welcome back. Yeah, you're going to be on Episode Rewind this Saturday. Did we already send you something about that?
Not yet. But
Not
he
yet.
knows. He
Okay.
knows. At any rate, and then next Wednesday, right here, same thing, 7 o'clock Eastern Time in the U.S. Join us as we visit with author James Whelpley. James is a Texas author. He's written a couple of, he's working on his third one right now, I think.
Yes,
He's just releasing
his third
that.
and his fourth, I think.
Dancing in the Trap is his first offering.
Really good.
This was his debut novel. It's a great cover.
And
They're dancing in a trap there.
All of you authors out there, watch this show. He's a really good author. You're going to love his insights and the way that he approaches writing.
Right. Yeah. This debut novel is in the hard-boiled tradition of Raymond Chandler and Ross MacDonald.
Yeah.
And then his second book is Tenerife, which is this one right here. Good. There it is right there. Pretty covers. Anyway, he's going to be here next Wednesday. At 7 o'clock.
Yes. And it's a pre-record.
Pre-recorded. That's right.
But go ahead and comment and ask questions. And if we are someplace where we're getting good enough internet, we'll be able to answer you.
Yeah, we'll probably be
And-
on the Meet the Author page on Facebook. That's
on
probably the one we'll
Facebook.
monitor.
Yeah. And so try and come in through that.
Now, the next
channel.
3 shows, the rest of September actually, will be new episodes that are pre-recorded because we will
But
be
go ahead
traveling.
and make comments, and we should email James and tell him to watch so he can answer any questions that you have.
We
And
will
I
do
do
that.
want to ask you to share and comment. We love your comments. And also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Indie Book Source,
Right.
if you haven't yet, because it's pathetic, the number of people we have watching
It's kind of
us.
sad, isn't it?
It's very sad.
Yeah, but that's
Marge-
okay.
Marjorie Daring says, hi.
Hey, Marjorie, how
Oh,
are you tonight?
Caleb's on
Caleb.
board. Glad to be on board tonight.
Welcome.
We are really glad to have you here too. We worked on Linda's commercial today, and it's coming out really
what?
good, Caleb.
The commercial's done except for the narration. We have to get that done. It might be another few days.
Because
before
we
get
don't want to
done.
do
Yeah,
the voiceover. We'd rather have somebody that sounds better than us.
Right.
So, sorry.
Oh, I could use
I
some
don't like
helium.
listening
That'd be
myself.
kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
You know?
Joe Conjal says yay because he's going to be on the rewind,
Yes.
and that was
yes.
a good episode too.
Anyway,
So
we have-
glad you're all here.
We have 3 pre-records coming up, all new episodes.
Yeah.
The rest of this month. On, like we said, on the 14th, it's James Whelpley. On the 21st, it's Shaniqua Karanja, a wonderful author.
Yes.
And also
She
then
is.
on the 28th will be Shara Lewis Campbell
Yeah, she's amazing, you guys.
from the UK.
She's
Yeah.
from the UK. She's done a lot of nonprofit and stuff, and she's really wonderful.
When we come back live the next time, it's going to be for the October 5th for the Magnolia Bluff Part 3 release
yes, and
reveal. So
Trinetta Barnes just said hello. Hello, welcome to the show. We're glad to see you in the audience. Your friend Annie will be out in just a minute. And Caleb says Linda's really excited to be working with you. We're
Yeah.
excited to be working with her too, because I really like her books. And this one looks really good that
It
we're doing
does.
the commercial for.
So let's introduce Annie Miles. She's a published
Okay.
poet, and she's the founder of Family Wealth
Yeah.
and Success Corporation, a
Yeah.
nonprofit organization. She's going to tell us all about that.
Yep. We're going to bring her on board
And
right now
Come on in. Don't be shy.
and say hello.
Hello. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
And
Good to
hello,
see you.
Miss Sharnetta Barnes. I'm going to be talking about you in a minute as well. I want to thank you both, Rob and Joan, for having me.
No problem.
Oh,
no
glad
problem.
to
We're
have you
glad
on
to
the
have
show.
you. So you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to the point that you're at today?
Yes, I would love to. As you said, I'm Annie Miles. I started Family Wealth and Success Corporation back in 2011. I started as basically a way to be a resource for those in the community. It is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We do mentoring, life enrichment. We specifically also work with entrepreneurs, those that are trying to promote themselves or a product. And that's where the vision came from. I was 17 years old. I was not sure of what I was doing, but I always had people in the community coming, asking me to assist them, in doing certain things. And I love researching. I love researching. So that's kind of a pet peeve
I
thing for
do
me.
too. I
Yeah.
love to research.
Yeah,
You know
so-
what? If you do research, what happens? You learn.
You
things.
learn things, exactly. Exactly. So
I
that
like to
kind of became my
learn.
niche. That became my niche, and I just didn't know it at the time. So as time went on, 3-4 years later, I said, okay, how can I kind of like step this up a notch? And that's when Family Wealth and Success Corporation came to me. I'm a mother of 2, and at that time, I had one daughter. She was 10 years old, and I looked at the environment that we were in. Back then in the late 80s, middle 80s, it was the bullying of the children, things like that going on. So I was blessed one day. I was speaking to someone, and we was talking about public access television and whatnot, and the thought came to me. I said, hey, well, we have to have something like that here in New York because I'm a native New Yorker, and I went down, I found out about it, and I signed up to become a producer. Again, had no idea. Had no idea what it was going to turn into. Taking that experience and bringing people on the show, doing something similar to what you're doing now, allowing them to come on, talk about, who they are, where they come from, what they want to do, how they want to help people, which is basically, again, being a resource. I did the same thing, and it grew, that passion to help others. It just constantly kept growing and growing and growing. So I was like, okay, Lord, what's the next step? And Family Wealth and Success Corporation was created. As I realized the the things that I was able to do, I said, okay, always ask God, what am I going to do next? So I put Him first, and in my family, and wealth, as I explained to you guys when we did the pre-interview, is not always monetary. It's about your relationship with your family. It's about your health. It's about helping others. To me, that's wealth. You know, we know the monetary factor is a need as well, but that's most important too. That
Yeah,
love
you need to
component.
have money to pay for your house and
Yeah,
food and
exactly.
clothing,
And to
but
help people.
Exactly.
really
Yeah.
being prosperous isn't about all the money, because
Exactly.
all the
So
money in the world isn't going to buy you love.
no, it will
Stars
not.
the Limit 213 says, I'm here, Shaquana.
Yes.
Am I saying that right?
Yes.
And
So
look at who else is here. Barbara Duffy
Hey,
Hennison says,
Barbara.
hi, everyone. Hi, Barb,
from the left coast.
from Orange County,
well,
California.
hello, Barbara. Hello, Shaquana. Thank you all for being here watching. I'm thankful for Robin Jones
Absolutely.
for this opportunity. But that's how
You're
the business was
welcome.
created, family wealth, and then to me, that last component to me that was success. You know, um,
Yes.
going forward with the show, I included my daughter at that time, and she named the show Kids Corner, so that she could bring the other kids in the neighborhood on, so they can sit there and talk about the things that they were going through, because sometimes they didn't have an outlet back then. So it so many things happen, and that's when you're an author. Your book sometimes is based on some of your life experiences, and the things that you've seen and you've observed, and that's what happened to me. It was like I want to put these words in because it was so much. And one day I just sat down and I just started typing, and it came to life.
Was that the beginning of Back to the
Yes.
Basics? Okay,
Yes.
let me just show
Yes.
everybody this cover. It's Back to the Basics. What does it say under that? I can't read.
It says, I am, I can, I will, and Life Enrichment Guide.
Life Enrichment Guide. Back
Mhm.
to the Basics. Life Enrichment Guide by Annie Miles.
Mhm.
In 2017, is that when you first published
That is when I first published it, and
it?
and I self-published it myself. Again,
Good for you.
researched and figured out how to do it. It was on Amazon for the first 2 weeks. It was on the bestsellers list. So I was like, okay, Lord, thank you. Okay, yeah. So I continue to run with it. When I say run with, I continue to just share. I have a lot of people saying to me, Miss Annie, how you doing this and this and that, and I just something it's by the grace of God, because I didn't intend for this to happen. And sometimes you're guided in that spirit and you don't even know, and he push you where you need to be, and he connects you with the individual you need to be connected with. I went from doing the
Just a minute.
nonprofit.
Aaron Robinson says, hello, Annie Miles.
Well, hello, Mr. Aaron Robinson. Thank you so much, sir, for being here, being
And
supportive.
Ronald Green says, hello.
Wow.
Hello,
See, that's love right there.
See, there's all this love. You gotta, we're sharing the love.
and here's your mantra.
I am.
Yes, it is.
Shanetta Barnes says, I am, I can, and I will.
Let me tell you something.
Yes,
Shanetta
ma'am.
Barnes is going to go into another sequel where my life is right now, because, as I mentioned to our interview, I'm also now a licensed insurance agent. And Shanetta Barnes, her heart is so huge. The name of her organization is called Big, and it's called Big for Believe in God. And I love her for that, because you have to be very careful on everybody you interact with, who you give your time to, and everything. And as our conversation happened, Joan, when we were talking, it went off almost about an hour or so. Okay, when we were conversating, that's when he's in the midst of it. That's when it's like minded. That happened with Shanetta Barnes and myself. So thank you so much, Shanetta, for supporting me in the big agency and Senior Life. You guys are truly appreciated. Aaron Robinson, he's a brother in Christ of mine. He's one of the individuals that I want to help me with the second component that I mentioned to you guys with the pre-interview, called Brothers Without Boundaries. To me, that's something that's close, because women cannot always mentor to men. I can't say they can't do it, but it's not. For me, I say it's best for men to mentor other men, because they experience and know what those men go through, and that's something that Aaron Robinson and I were working on. So everyone that's around me, I try to make sure that we're like minded, so that we are serving the purpose that we truly want to serve. And that's what, again, that's my wealth to me. That's my wealth.
Yes.
Of course, I do it. I want to take care of my home.
That's your prosperity.
That is my prosperity, exactly.
Yeah.
Joe Conchel says, I love all the people supporting Annie tonight. So
thank you so much. So we went from
Joy
Mhm.
Shelton York, she says hi.
Hi,
Hi,
Joy.
Joy. How are
Hi,
you
Joy.
doing?
Joy. Hi. And all those that are watching, again, Joan and Robert is going to give my information up there. I would love to network with you anytime. I am on LinkedIn as well, but you'll have my email address, you have my website and my phone number.
Or you
Anyone that
will in a moment.
yeah, are you willing to moment exactly? Well, I'm definitely willing to network because I feel he's blessed me so much, and it's not that we haven't gone through trials and tribulations because success comes with trials and tribulations. You
And
know,
Charnetta says, thank you for everything you do. Wealthy Women Wednesday.
amen. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But when
We've
when you
watched that show. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
when you talk to individuals, Jones, like you and I was talking, and like I
Yeah.
said, if you speak to anyone that always says they always happy, you know that's not genuine. You know it's not sincere.
Right.
Because we know we all go through trials and tribulations, but it's how
I'm
you handle it.
always happy. No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
It
He
just
knows
depends
I'm
on how
not.
you deal with it. My daughters used to say to me, and Shaquana can testify to this. He said to me, "Y'all, I never seen you cry, but I'm like, I cried plenty of times. It's just you didn't hear me." Because I was in the room with the music blasting or whatever the case may be. Because we go through things in our lives, and the environment that we're in right now, our
Yeah.
children don't have the opportunity to be children because they're dealing with
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
So my book is about self actualization. It's about knowing who you are and being transparent with yourself because if you can do that with yourself, it makes it easier for you to do it with others. And it took me years to get here. It took me years to get here. So I still get in situations that may bother me or may give me, reservations, but I handle it differently, and you have to learn to do that because if you don't, stress, it affects your body, it affects your mind. So the only one suffering from you being angry is yourself, truthfully, you know. And most of us, we don't understand that because we don't know how to process it. We haven't been taught how to do it, and the environment that we're in is sometimes, too
And
toxic.
forgiveness is big, don't you think so?
Yes,
Forgiveness is
yes.
really big.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have to, and with the forgiveness, you have to forgive yourself and the other person,
Yes.
and it's not just
Yes.
for them; it's for your own peace of mind.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
if you keep it in, it turns into hate
Or
Exactly,
bitterness.
and bitterness,
exactly,
Yeah.
and
exactly.
You can either get better or get bitter.
that's right.
There's there's no in between.
That
So
could be a famous saying.
it could be.
Yeah, maybe you just started something there. That's pretty cool.
I just thought of it.
Yeah, it's
Just
amazing.
came
Just
to
kind of
me.
rolls off your tongue.
It's
Yeah.
the writer in you. See, that's that
Yeah.
Yeah,
creativity.
that's it.
Or it might have
Creativity.
something to do with being in the ministry for a million
Oh,
years.
that could
And
There you
be.
go.
everybody says get bitter or get better.
And you never know that's what your walk is going to be. I had no idea everything that I was going through would lead me here.
Right.
And like you said, thinking about it in my previous years, I'm saying to myself, why was I so angry? Again, I write about that in the book. It's all about being transparent and true to yourself. Why were you angry? You know, did that person do something that actually to you, or that person didn't do something you felt they should do? You have no right to transfer your own feelings to someone else. And that's being
Absolutely.
honest. That's being
And
honest with yourself.
if someone does something to you, which that happens,
That's
let's
right.
be real.
Absolutely.
A lot of things happen and people do very bad things to you.
That's right.
And when that happens, what you need to be concerned about is how you respond to that.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
you own that.
Right.
That
That's
defines you
that's
and your
on you.
character. Yes, that defines
Absolutely.
you and your character.
So
And
might
that's
as
something.
well learn that now.
And it's hard though. It's hard for
It's
people to learn
very
that
hard.
lesson. It's very hard for people to learn that lesson. And when you try to say it to them, they think you're being angry. They think you're being, dictative to them and things to that effect. But you're not. I love you enough to tell you the truth, good, bad, or indifferent. And I want you to love and respect me enough to tell me the truth because I don't know I've hurt you unless you told me. I
That's
can't
right.
read your mind and vice versa. But we're not taught that all the time. The
No.
environment that we're in, it's like, oh, they made me mad, they did it. I'm not saying nothing to them, and that's it. Well, the way you took it may not have been meant, when the way they was trying to give it to you, the way you received it was not the intentions, but you don't know that.
Absolutely, unless
Absolutely,
you
Joe.
talk about it. Yeah.
Joe, I see
Joe,
we control our actions and reactions. Yes, we do,
yeah.
Joe.
Joe Conjal says that we control our actions and reactions, and that's
Exactly.
the absolute truth.
But it's the mindset of knowing that. And if you don't know that, then it's hard for you to display it. It's hard for you to give it. It's hard for you to forgive. And you stay in that bubble. So you
Now,
know
I
what?
just want to remind people that if you're commenting and you don't see other people's comments, It's because we're broadcasting on 6 different channels right now. We're broadcasting on 3 Facebook channels. We're broadcasting on LinkedIn. We're broadcasting on 2 YouTube channels. So you're only going to see the people that are commenting that are on the same channel that you're on.
Right. And LinkedIn, you may not even see what the other people's comments are.
Yeah.
They're a little difficult.
Yeah.
But I did want to also make a side note. We're hearing some approaching thunder right at this point.
Oh,
we
and
have a
Annie must be hearing it too, because she doesn't live
Yeah.
that far away from us. Are
We're
you
under a
hearing the
severe
thunder?
thunderstorm watch right now. So we may lose everything. If we do, it's been great. Thank you for joining us. But hopefully not. We'll just
let's make sure we display the contact information before we lose it.
So there you go.
We have a commercial break that we need to take. We need to hear from our sponsors
We'll get
right
the
now.
Sponsors first,
And
then
as soon as we come back, we're going to put up all of your contact information.
Thank you again, everyone that tuned in for me. Aaron, Shanetta, Shaquana, you are all appreciated and loved. Thank you so much.
Okay, stand by. See you in 2 minutes.
Right
Don't
back.
go away, folks.
Don't go away.
They thought the siren was dead. In the novel Siren Song by author George Dismukes, James Harmon shot her twice. Several people saw her dead body sinking slowly into the abyss. But now, in Siren Song 2, evidence suggests that she may still be alive.
She killed that boatload of people. It was her! And she's just getting started!
Angie, that's impossible.
The cold chill up my spine tells me it's not impossible. We've got to start all over again. And this time, do it right.
Siren Song 2. The story continues. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and many other bookseller websites. Get your copy today.
At Indie Booksource, you can shop by genre or by author, and you will be buying direct from the author's main purchase link. We offer hundreds of titles in formats that include ebooks, paperback, hardbound, and audiobook. Support an indie author. Visit indiebooksource.com today.
In a world where advancing technology is outpacing crime solving, the O'Rourke team continues their relentless pursuit of justice. Bioprints is the first book in the O'Rourke crime novel series where it's high-tech crime versus old-fashioned detective work. Visit carternovels.com or amazon.com and check out Bioprints today.
Oops.
We're back.
I just took a drink of water. It caught me. All right. Without further ado. All right. Now, if you want to get in touch with Annie, one of the best ways is to go to her website, FamilyWealthAndSuccess.org. FamilyWealthAndSuccess. Okay. And if you want to email her, her email is insurancebyAnnie@gmail.com. And I'll spell that INSURANCEBYANNIE@gmail.com. You know, I'll know that. Oh, I almost wanted to say by Annie instead of spelling it. But I didn't.
So
you can give out my phone number too. I've had the same number for almost 30-some years, so I'm not worried about crank calls or anything like that. So if you want to reach out to my phone
go
number,
ahead and print it, give it to us in the comments, and we can put it up there.
Okay,
Just
I
send
don't
it in
see
the
comments
comments.
on my side.
Just
so I'm
go ahead
gonna
and say it.
Yeah.
All right,
It's 813-846-8669. Again, it's 813-846-8669. If there's any nonprofit organizations that's listening and want to collaborate, please feel free to reach out to me. If there's anyone that's doing insurance or interested in having an insurance business, please reach out to me. And if there's anyone that's just looking for someone to be a mentor or assist with entrepreneurship, which is what we truly focus on, because in this climate, it is best to have something on your own right now. And there's a lot of resources I have available that I would love to share, because that's what we're here for. We're here to build each other up. So, again, please feel free to reach out to me on either one of those, FamilyWealthAndSuccess.org, insurancebyAnnie@gmail.com, or 813-846-8669. You are awesome, Rob. Thank you. It just popped up. Thank
Well,
you.
you gave it to me.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have another comment here.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, it's Ron.
Hi, Ron.
You all saw Ron on our show. Hi, Ron.
Yes.
How are you? Ron says
Whether
hello,
you're-
Annie.
Whether you're in
Hello, Ron. How are you, sir?
whether in Pennsylvania or Florida, hello, Ron.
Yeah. Oh, are you still in Pennsylvania?
I don't know. Maybe.
He'll tell us.
Yeah.
He can tell us. Okay. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, I know what I wanted to say, and now I lost it again.
Would you
Here it
like me
comes.
to
It's
bring it
coming
back?
back. Wait a
It'll
minute.
come back to you. I
What are
will say,
the joys of being 75 years old, folks?
and you look absolutely wonderful. Believe me, I told you, I aspire to get there. Well, until your thought comes back, I do want to say I have another book coming out. We will be doing on on Rob and Joanne's show. I am giving away 3 books. If you email me, the first 3 people that email me, and they're going to review that. I'm just doing this while she thinks of what she was in
Yeah,
her
it
mind.
doesn't matter what I was going to
We
say.
can go ahead and do the book.
We could do the big book giveaway right now.
Okay, and on the book at the bottom of, I don't think the picture shows. I don't even know if you can see my picture until the show airs.
Yes, you can see it.
Oh, okay. So it says, "I am, I can, I will." That's the mantra Shawnetta Barnes was making reference to. I believe in that so much. I believe in it so much, and it comes from me loving my Father, Him loving me in heaven. I am one of God's greatest gifts. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I will be successful. Again, it's all about the mindset. This book, if you take the time and you read it and you understand, it will help you go through a whole analytical process of yourself, and it makes it easier for you to deal with others.
And Annie, this isn't just for Christians, right?
No, absolutely not.
This is for
Everyone.
everybody. You
Everyone.
know, if you have if
Everyone.
you believe in a higher power, whatever it is
Exactly.
your belief system is, and he's in a no judgment zone.
Absolutely not.
As
The
we
book is
are.
all about you. Yeah, it's all about you. It focuses solely on you, and I've included that in the book. I mean, it has nothing to do with your children, your spouse. It's really all about you, because the best way you can love anyone else is first to understand how to love yourself. You
Right.
know, so it has nothing to do with just having a belief in Christ. That's my belief. You know, the beginning of the book I dedicated to my daughters, but the chapters, it's 10 chapters. It's a very easy read, 105 pages. The first chapter, evaluate your life. Then you have the stuff in the middle. We all have had the stuff in the middle. Okay, you know, that's our life experiences. Then it's reevaluate your life and your goal setting, because what happens after that stuff in the middle? You find out what works and what doesn't work. You find out your failures and your successes. So now let's set some goals. That comes somewhere around what, 30, between 25 and 30 or so. You know, then you have the document your plans, prepare an outline. You always hear people speak about that. Make a vision board. You know, sometimes when you put stuff in writing, it sticks more to you. So document it and print with your outline what it looks like for you. And then you have the self preparation. That means your own personal steps. That means going back to evaluating your heart, what you truly want, what you truly desire, acknowledging what hurt you, acknowledging your part in that hurt. Because we have played a part in hurting others as well. We weren't just hurt. We have hurt others as well. Then you come to the part, once you get there, this is on chapter 6, which means you're now halfway there. You get to that question. Shawnetta knows me. I always say this. Who are you? Who are you? When you look at yourself and you are in a room by yourself, do you enjoy being by yourself? Because some people can't be alone. Some people have to have people around them for them to function. You know, and that's sad to me, because if you can't be by yourself, there's something that you're really not dealing with. You know, so that's very important, and that's when you get to my mantra: I am, I can, I will. Because once you can truthfully and honestly define who you are, your characteristics, how you behave, it's easy for you to say, I am, I can. Like I said, I don't walk around with no Bible thumping. I don't walk around saying I'm a Christian. I say I'm founded and grounded and I'm a woman of God. And it took me years to get here. You know?
Let me break in for a minute, because we have some comments and questions.
Yes.
Okay. Joe Conjo wants to know, hi, Annie, do you ever give a talk presentation at businesses?
Yes, I do, Joe. And I would love to do that with you. I would love to connect with you and speak at any event that you may be having. Feel free to reach
He's
out to
in
me
North
regards to that.
Carolina.
I'm coming to North Carolina. What for? I'm coming to North Carolina
That's
this
why I
weekend.
mentioned it.
I'm coming to North Carolina this weekend. I just had a new
That's why I mentioned
grandbaby.
it.
Yes, Joe. Please email me your information so we can connect. Absolutely.
And Ron Alexander says, do you recommend annuities? That's a good question.
It is. It depends on what your financial status is, Ron.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, make sure when you set it up for something that you can manage your lifestyle. That's the best way to say it. That you can manage your lifestyle because annuities are very good to put in place, but you want to make sure you set it up that when you get to that, whether it be 5 or 10 years down the line, you're ready to live off what you have until those annuities start paying out. So, I mean, if that's something you want to talk about, we definitely can at a later date.
Now, Aaron Robinson says, it's an awesome read, really helps me in my work and in my personal life, which that's a very good point, Aaron, that it's not just about your work life. You have to be prosperous in life.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
There's more to life than work. Really,
Absolutely.
there is.
There really is. It makes us work so hard not be able to enjoy it. It really is. And after you finish.
Stars of the Limit 2013 says, wow, this book can be very helpful of you. Seriously, I love it. Ordering mine today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. And like I said, it's only 10 chapters. And once you get to that 7th one, the I Am, I Can, I Will, the rest of it kind of like, it helps you get to that point where you say, okay, women on a mission. You know, I look at you, Joan. I look at Shawnetta. I look at, my daughter Shaquana. I look at all the women that I have met in my life and that God has blessed me to come across that acknowledge, what family means to them, acknowledge where their power and strength comes from, and acknowledge the importance of sharing that with others. None of us got here on our own. None of us survived and made all this on our own. We had others to help us. Aaron, he did purchase the book, and he immediately contacted me and told me how he felt, and that's why I wanted to collaborate with him with Brothers Without Boundaries, because he's walked his path and he's sincere in helping others.
Aaron bought your book, he read it, and then he contacted you, right?
Yes.
Good. Yes.
Aaron,
that's wonderful. That's what we want. Everyone who reads any of our books, all of our authors, they need feedback from their readers.
Yes, because I have my contact information inside the book as well.
Yep. If you read a book, leave a review, please, while we're talking about it.
So for the gentleman, what is Aaron's website? Does Aaron have a website?
He has the Brothers
Without Boundaries.
That's one of the ones we want to collaborate. Brothers Without Boundaries. He has a ministry that he does. I don't have his information, but again, this is one of the reasons why I wanted those around me to connect with your show, because they may get something out of it as well and want to connect with you. They may say, I have an idea for a book. You never know. Right. You never know. When you speak, it may spark something in someone else.
Right. Aaron, if you want to put your contact, just a website
in the comment
section,
we'll put it up
there.
Okay.
And the final chapter is called The Next Level, because once you went through all those steps, you are ready for the next level. See, I made it as simple as possible, as if I had wanted something to read myself. So that's chapter 10, The Next Level. The next book, as I've mentioned to you during our pre-interview, is gonna be called Negative to Positive. Taking all these negative things that we have and words that are said and turn them to positive. So it'll be that one, and then we have the Back to the Basics Life Enrichment Guide Part 2, because I did make a notation. This is Volume 1. I have Volume 2 now coming out. It should be out in December.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was going to ask. When do you think we can see those? In December?
It's going to be more than 100 pages, so that's why I took a little bit more time, because this is only 100 pages. And as I said, I published this on myself, but I may actually go through a publisher on the next one. I'm not sure. Again, if there's anyone out here that wants to collaborate, I'm doing so many hats. I have no problem with sharing and delegating some of these things so we can make it even bigger to what my vision is seeing right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
She's happy to spread the wealth.
Absolutely. Yep. Now, with that being said, I don't know, do we have time? Do you have another commercial coming up?
Pretty soon.
We do in a few minutes, but go ahead.
So with that being said, sharing the wealth, one of the other things I've done that is an umbrella up under Family Wealth and Success is I created a commercial cleaning business, and it is basically to help other people start their own business. So basically, I created a business and created my own competition. I looked at how our climate was during the pandemic, and throughout my career in W-2 jobs, even though I was an entrepreneur, I still work regular jobs. It was always about helping people financially and showing them, again, how they can create their own business. When the pandemic hit and people were losing their positions and their jobs and so forth, I said, well, there's 5 industries, no matter what happens, the economy needs it. One is cleaning. People going to always want their offices or homes clean. Then you have the hospitals and the funeral homes. We're born, and we are going to, unfortunately, go back to the essence. Okay, so that's it. That's where the life insurance component came in. and then the hairstylists and the vehicles. These things, because of the way society is set up, the economy, those positions will always be there. If you have experience in those areas, you're going to always be able to take care of yourself or your family. So I created Midget Industrial Cleaning Services, which is an entrepreneurial business that if you were to work with me for 6 months to a year, I would then invest in you because I know I've trained you. I know you are serious about what you're doing. And if you can invest in yourself, I'll invest in you. So the way I set it up was you invest $1,500, and I'll give you the other $1,500 because normally it takes about $3,000 to start a cleaning business, to start a good one and some clients. And I'm willing to turn some clients over to you. There's no other cleaning company out here that does that. And I have spoken with Jam Pro and all of them. I even purchased a franchise before I started my business. And I always tell individuals, if there's anyone out there that's listening, do not finance a business because all you're doing is really throwing your money away. You're never really going to get it back. If you can purchase it straight out, do that. And that's what I did. I purchased it straight out for $13,700, and I made that money back within 6 months. And I was able to start people to help them do the same thing. So again, I've never talked about anything that I have not experienced myself because I believe that way, if I've experienced it, I know what I'm saying to you. I believe in what I'm saying because I've done it. He's blessed me to do it, to survive it. And if it failed, then I start something else. The life insurance, it came in because, unfortunately, they was giving away so much money, people didn't want to work. So if they don't do the job, that means I, the owner, have to get out there and do the job. I don't want to do the work anymore either because that's your body. It does. I created to help people, but no one wanted to work anymore. So I said, okay, always, Lord, what am I going to do next? He came to me again. Life insurance. I'm still being a resource to helping families. Why? Because it's very important. No one wants to talk about death, but it's a fact of life. It's a fact of life. And it makes no sense for you to go through all of this and say these are your loved ones and you not leave something for them. And it doesn't have to be a lot. And the families that I speak with, when they say, oh no, I have this and I have that, that's great. That doesn't mean you have to change anything you have. But if you're doing it, believe me when I say to you, funeral homes, when you tell them you have a life insurance policy, they try to utilize every dime you have. And it's really not leaving your loved ones with too much more, And unfortunately, nothing's going down. Everything is going up, So I try to explain, even if you get an extra $2,000 or $5,000, let that be for your family members. Keep the one you have and let the funeral home take care of that. But some of these companies out here, they don't tell you that you're spending all this money, you're not going to get it back. Some of them say they don't cover you if you have a life-threatening disease like cancer or AIDS and things to that effect. Senior Life, which is how Shanetta and myself met, they do that. They even give you a legacy, that they help you with the casket, with the urns and stuff like that. But people don't know because they're not educated on it and they don't want to speak about it, So it's things like that I like to nuggets. That's what we call it. I like little nuggets like that. When you have someone talking to you about it, think about it. Because your children are your legacy. And you say you love them. If you don't have something in place, then you're leaving them with nothing. And most people say, well, my cousin's going to take care of my mother's going to take. Well, guess what? It's going to cost money for them to do that too. So it's just thinking about all those components that our life consists of in this climate that we're in right now. Nothing is guaranteed. And we had that conversation, Robert Jones, with the CFO taking his life away because he thought he was defined by, that title. He stole money, whatever the case may be. But you don't know where God was going to take you if you would have went to prison. What would have happened, So it's a mindset. Everything with me right now, because he's taken me through so much and I've survived so much. It's a mental thing to me that helps us to survive and get to where we are. But I know I'm not doing it by myself. You guys are helping me right now with exposure. Thank you. Me contacting those that I know have the same mindset are giving you exposure. That's what it's about. That's really, truthfully, is what it's about. Us connecting with each other, networking, So again, as I said to you 1,000 times, just thank you for the opportunity. Truly appreciate it.
You're truly welcome.
Now we need to do a commercial.
We need to keep our sponsors happy.
I figured that. Go ahead.
Those are folks we network with. So here we go. Stand by, everybody. Don't go away. We'll be
right back.
Many secrets are hidden within the darkness of the jungle. Behold, this one about a man, a woman, a black jaguar, and an ancient Maya legend. Two Faces of the Jaguar is a novel by George Dismukes that will take you deep into the jungle and capture your imagination until the last word. Two Faces of the Jaguar is book one of a trilogy. Two Faces of the Jaguar, where only the adventurous dare to read.
Two Faces of the Jaguar, The Lost City, and The Jaguar's Quest are available on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and many other bookseller websites. Two Faces of the Jaguar, the book people are talking about. Get your copy today.
Live every Wednesday, your Voice of Indie hosts Beam Weeks and Stephen Gees welcome authors, musicians, publishing industry pros, artists, and assorted creative guests for an exciting interactive hour. Call in during the show or post questions and comments on Twitter for responses in real time. Meet your favorite indie creators, learn inside tips, network, and promote your work. The link for each week's show is pinned on Twitter atop @VoiceOfIndie. And you can receive the link every Wednesday morning in your inbox by subscribing to our newsletter at freshinkgroup.com. Check out Voice of Indie every Wednesday on Blog Talk Radio and catch hundreds of episodes archived everywhere from our websites to our YouTube channel and Spotify.
Hi, we're back.
We're back.
Hey, Annie.
Yes.
Would like to ask you about your poetry.
Oh, okay.
We have heard that you're a poet. Actually,
Yes,
you
yes,
shared
ma'am.
with us.
I did.
And we were wondering if you would like to read the poem.
Read one of your poems.
One of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you said it, but I have to pull it up because I was not expecting to do it on here. I know we spoke about it, but I wasn't expecting to actually have to do it. Okay, I'll read the one. I'll read the one that's actually published. It is published on a book called On the Wings of Pegasus, and it's entitled Independence. So I have my screen up, but it's not affecting you guys, right? You can't see my screen?
No,
Nope.
you're fine.
Okay.
Nope, you're fine.
All right. So the name was called Independence, and I wrote this in 2007. Wake up in the morning, my eyes are sagging, my bones are cracking, but I thank God for another day. Each day becomes a journey instead of a routine, a journey to work, to smile, to become perky and pleasant on demand. I ask myself, what is the purpose of all this illusional, realistic, subtle, obvious, hypocritical smiles and words that are passed along through the day? I've come to realize this is the way society survives as a way of cohabitating in unity. My last recollection of unity was before I laid my head down to rest. I was in my mother's house in need of nothing. I was loved, fed, clothed, and sheltered. I asked myself, why leave a place that is so comfortable and safe? Then a loud noise went off in my head, independence. A long word filled with such power and self-worth, independence, me. I shortened the word, but I kept the power, independence, me. On a journey to a destination still unknown. When I wrote that poem, and every time I say it and I think about it, I just say to myself, it's a blessing. It's a blessing because when we take that first step to go out on our own, after being, whether it be inside of our parents' homes or, whatever our situation may be, when you step out on your own, independence, it takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of heart. It takes a lot of spirit, a lot of soul. And sometimes people do it and they're afraid. But that's your first example for me. That was my first example of faith because I made it. I took that first step. Didn't know what was going to happen. Didn't know where I would end up at. But I made it to that next step. So every time I say independence and the power it means, to me, it's important. That's myself.
That's a beautiful poem.
Mhm.
And we've heard another poem that you've written. And I wonder, have you considered writing a book of poetry? Because I think you're really a good poet, and that might be something you would consider.
Yes, I've actually tried to collaborate with some other poets as well because I do want to make a book of poetry. And again, I wear too many hats, Joan. So it's like me. I'm saying I want to do it, and I have other people that say, "Listen, I write poems." Like my daughter, she wrote a poem. I found it, and she wrote this years ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful, But I would love to do that. If there's anyone listening that do poetry, I would love to collaborate and get something together. Absolutely.
Now, Joy Shelton York said, I agree. Beautiful and powerful. It is, isn't it, Joy? And Joy knows she's an author, very good author, and it is a really good poem.
Thanks.
I mean, I'm wondering, maybe, I know that you're wearing a lot of hats, but I think you're a really good poet.
Yeah, I think you could write a poem about hats.
I love Rob. Thank you. It'll be
that would solve the problem.
We can't have a serious moment. We have to make a joke.
We have to look. Remember, Joan, we have to have some laughter in our life.
Okay, on the serious
That's why
side,
I married him.
On the serious side, what would you say has been the greatest obstacle that you've had to overcome to get where you're at today?
Wow.
That kind of puts you on the spot, doesn't it?
No, because I've actually been thinking about that for the past couple of years, to be honest with you. I think my biggest challenge in life really has been being a mother, to be honest with you. It has been being a mother and, like I said, wearing so many hats because we're everything. I was a single parent, so we're everything to our children. I raised girls, and I was trying to raise them with, morals and respect. So that meant I had to demonstrate, by example. So I was out there, I was working. Their fathers and stuff was there, but I was still the one that was taking care of them, at the same time trying to find out who I was, So it's hard. And that's when I do my mentorship, I talk to, young kids about that, especially if they're young single mothers. You're a young girl trying to find your own way in life. Now you have a whole nother person you got to take care of at the same time. It's difficult, So I was a young mother trying to raise my daughters. So while I was going through my trials and tribulations, they were going through it too. Because my emotions and my feelings was being, poured out, and they saw that. My kids, my two daughters, they're 10 years apart. So they were raised totally different. My oldest one, she got the brunt of it all because I was learning as I was raising her. I was a child raising her. My youngest one, I had more knowledge, and more education. But at the same time, I think I did them a disservice to the simple fact, and my book always says, have no regrets. And I told you that in my first chapter, have no regrets. If God bless you to survive any trials and tribulations, you're one of the lucky ones because you survived it for a reason. So I don't regret anything. However, I will say my disservice to them was I didn't give them enough of my time and enough of what I was learning because I was too busy learning and trying to figure out, and I'm strong. So I made them strong, because they had to learn how to do stuff because I didn't have time to do the coddling that, most two household parent would have, So they're strong women, but as strong as we are as women, and I want to say for all the women listening, I'm all for women power and all that, but we're still women, like you said, John, it's like you said, Joan, it's nice to have Rob as a helper. You understand what I'm saying? It's nice to have him as a help. It's good to have a helpmate if you're like-minded. And as I mentioned, I was married for 10 years, but I'd rather be by myself than be in a marriage and being happy and stressed. That's not good. That's not, and you hear people say, well, we're staying together for the kids. I promise you're not staying together for the kids because the kids don't like hearing you arguing. The kids don't like being in the house where you can tell when there's friction and it's cold. I remember those nights when me and my daughters had that conversation. When I was married and when I was dealing with their fathers and whatnot. And it's like, I'd rather be just with them than have them in that situation because they shouldn't be in it. So if that was if that was a question for me, it would be, that was my biggest challenge, being a parent and still a parent.
Here's another question from Joe Conjo. Do you think you will ever venture into the world of writing fiction, perhaps a mystery that involves a minister or ministry? You know what, Joe? I do think she would be a good author. I'm wondering if this is another avenue that God's speaking to you about because you're good at it.
Thank you.
Just
Joe Conjo, we're going to talk.
Just take a couple of minutes every day to write down stuff, and before you know it. And Aaron says he'll give his information to Annie and she'll pass it on to us.
Absolutely.
So, my goodness.
Well, yeah, that's my biggest challenge. And I appreciate you asking me that because, again, it's something I've been thinking about for the past 3 or 4 weeks. Has been on my mind because my granddaughter, my fifth grandchild, just got here, and I'm like, I want to be able to give my grandkids what I was not able to give my children, and I'm at that position I can, but my granddaughter right now, she's 10 years old. She just turned 10 or 11. I hope I got it right, Nene Bear. But I call her Nene Bear, and she comes with me to work at my commercial cleaning business. Her and my grandson. And she says, Grandma, I'll take it over for you if nobody don't want to work. And she's been with me there so much. When I took a weekend off and I had somebody else come in and work, and her and myself, we went and followed behind her. She said, Grandma, they did not do a good job at all. No, look at all the stuff they missed. And when I say to you, that just opened up my heart so much because that told me she was actually paying attention, to the little things. She was paying attention. And people are like, oh, well, that's janitorial work. No, understand something. No matter what you do, have value and respect for it, and take it serious because that's your work. You're still representing yourself in some form of
Whatever
fashion.
you do your best.
Do your best, exactly.
Joy Shelton York says, you have an authentic passion that is contagious.
Thank you.
And that is the
Thank
truth.
you. Thank you very much.
You
I
do.
appreciate that.
What?
Aaron had a comment there too.
Oh, Aaron, I'm sorry I missed this. That's so true about Annie Miles. She's not going to ask you to do anything she is not willing to do or has done.
Amen. That's true. Absolutely. Thank you, Aaron. That's very true. Y'all about to make me cry, but thank you. That's very true. That's very true. So right now I'm filled. I'm very filled, and I thank you both so much. I thank you. And like I said to you, this is what I love doing. I love just talking to people. That's it. It's therapy. Believe it or not, it's this therapy too, because you never know how you're going to touch somebody. Your words, as scripture tell you, are very powerful. The tongue is very powerful. And you can use it to lift someone up or tear someone down. And what we don't realize, when we tear somebody else down, we're doing the same thing to our own spirit. And it gains you nothing. It gains you nothing. But it comes with life experiences.
The thing about words are they're eternal. So it's that like ringing a bell. Once you ring a bell, you can't unring that bell.
Absolutely.
So even though we can go back and can ask for forgiveness, and that leaves a mark. So
let me ask you a question, Joan. Do
Sure.
you have this type of mindset? Because I do, and I do. So those that know me, and Aaron probably will comment on this as well. I always say, don't ask me for my opinion if you don't want me to tell you the truth. Now, if you want me to just listen, then okay, I'll just listen. But if you're looking for a response, please keep in mind, okay, I'm going to respond based on what you're saying to me, and I'm going to give you my opinion. You don't have to take it, but I'm going to give it to you based on what I feel. What do you think about
believe
that?
me, Annie, don't ask me for my opinion if you don't want
If you don't want
I will give you my opinion.
That's it.
And everybody who knows me and knows me well knows that that's the truth. I love everybody. I really
Exactly.
do. And I think, I really feel like that's our calling on earth, is to just, love people. And we do. We love people. And, but, I have a lot of opinions. And if you want my opinion, I will definitely give you my opinion. If you want me to agree with you, don't ask me for my opinion.
Well, no, this is what I say. I say, okay, so listen to me. Good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. Good, bad, or indifferent. This is how I see it. Because this is another disclosure I give. And Aaron's heard me say this. My daughter's heard me say this. I think Shawnetta has as well. Miss Annie don't do crazy long. Okay, so if you ask me for something, if you ask me a question, and you ask for help, and I give it to you, and you choose not to use the resource or take the steps to help resolve what your problem is, okay, the first time, you come back to me the second time with the same issue and the same problem, my first response is going to be, did you do or try what I recommended the first time? If you give me an excuse on why you didn't do it, okay, the third time, we're done. We're done, because now you're choosing to take up my time with this nonsense, but I'm not even upset with you about it. You want to know why? Because I'm also choosing to allow you to do it. And that's something that we don't think about. No one can do to us unless we allow it to be done to ourselves. We have a voice. That's one of the beautiful things I told my daughter I raised them with. If God blessed you, okay, to be born with the ability to know right from wrong, what you choose to do with it is up to you. Bottom line, when my kids was in school, and my oldest daughter hated this, they couldn't come home and tell me, Mommy, she made me do this or he made me do this. Because my first response was they in front of you? Was they in back of you or were they on the side of you? And the reason I ask that is because that tells me you made the choice to stop your education to respond to that nonsense, you know? So yeah, I hold you accountable for that. But it took me years to get here because I was a reactive individual. If you make me upset, I'm coming to see you. I'm gonna let you know it didn't matter where we was at, this and that, because I felt I had to get, I had to get it out. But again, as you learn more, as you educate yourself more, you know more. So
Okay, this is what I believe about confrontation, and everybody that knows. Okay, let me address this. Joe wanted to know your email because he felt like he missed it, so he just told us thank you for that. So Annie's email is up here again. It's insurancebyAnnie@gmail.com, and we'll just leave it up. But yeah, I like I told Annie before, I like to be liked. I mean, I think most people like to be liked, and I like most people. However, I am always going to give you my honest opinion. And if something has happened between us, right, I will confront that, not in an angry way or an upset way, just like, okay, this happened and this is how I'm feeling, and this is how I felt. And the reason that I'm like that is because I've learned through living a long life is that we all have our own background and our own way of looking at things. So when someone says something, we can interpret it in a way that they never intended us to interpret it at all, because they had a different upbringing, a different background, and they might have meant something entirely different. Or they might have meant exactly what you thought, and then you're going to have a problem with each other. But you can work that out. But you need to give people the respect and the opportunity to get things straight between you. And often someone is going to say, I didn't mean it that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just think of all the people in the world and all their filters. Everybody's got a filter of their own.
Everybody does.
And everybody's looking at things. You're always looking at things differently from a different perspective. It's like watching a car accident. Everyone that watches a car accident has a different perspective on what happened, So
but for the longest time, people have always said to me, "It's easy for you, Joan, because you're very confrontational." No, it's not.
I'm not. Exactly.
Confrontation isn't easy for anyone. You don't want to be rejected. You don't want to be misunderstood. You don't want that person to dislike you because you're confronting them. But if it's said in a positive, healthy, loving way, then I think it's a good thing. I mean,
well, I will say this because you're right. We did have that conversation, but you hear your tone. Your tone is so much more smoother than mine. See, my tone is it sounds kind of rough. As my daughter said, well, you sound like you. I'm not yelling. This is the way I speak. If I talk to you like this, I'm being disrespectful to yourself and myself because I don't speak that. I don't have that soft tone. But I mean, is you mad? I'm not mad. That part used to get to me when they would tell you, "Oh, why are you mad?" I'm not mad. I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm not angry. If I'm upset, I'm going to let you know because I believe that. It took me years to get here. I will say to you, right now, I can't have a conversation with you because we're not going to agree. And I believe in let's agree to disagree and leave the conversation alone until we can have a calm, rational discussion together. So that's what I'm telling you. Yes, right now, I know for myself, I cannot continue this conversation. But when they tell you that you're mad or that you're upset, I'd be like, okay, listen to me. I'm not mad. Then my favorite thing now, Aaron said this as well. I say, okay, this conversation is now over. Because I have to say that because I can no longer have a straight conversation with you. Who put that? Ms. John, who put that? I can, therefore I will. Absolutely. Why not you? I love you. I love you so much, Rob. Thank you. I put that in the book because why not you? And I know for those of you that will go to my website, there is a video up there you'll see, and you'll see the same saying up there. Because why not you? Why can you not make somebody else's life better? And it doesn't always have to be, as I spoke about, monetary ways, this and that. Just being there, just being a listening ear. Why not you?
Ron Alexander wants to know, are you a patient person? Are you asking Annie? Because I am a very patient person. I have 6 children-in-law, 14 grandchildren, and this guy. So I am really patient.
There you go. That was good for something.
Are you a patient person, Annie?
I'm gonna have to say it depends sometimes. Honestly speaking, because I have two grown daughters and I have going to now have five grandchildren. And again, from our relationships, has been up and down. I have patience for them. I don't have patience for others that feel entitled to utilize my time unproductively. That's the best way I can say it. Unproductively, because again, that means I'm giving you that power. I'm giving you that, that authority or whatever to say what I'm doing is not of value, or I don't have anything else to do. I wear enough hats right now, so I don't have that luxury, and that's what I call it, a luxury to sit there and redo or have the same conversation over and over and over again and not coming to a resolution. That's an insane person. That's how you're not going to get anywhere to keep doing the same thing. So make a decision and say, let's let this go for now. Let's move forward and go to the next thing. Because obviously, right now, we're at an impasse. Neither one of us is going to come to the same answer. And as the scripture says, if you're not evenly yoked on something, just let it go. Let it go, and you'll find another way. If it's meant, you'll find another way. There's always, another route to someplace else. There's always another route that you can take. So if the one we're taking is not going anywhere, with this conversation is not being beneficial, let's stop it for now. Again, and it took me years to get here. So to me, I've gained that patience, to a certain degree, more so with my daughters than, with other individuals to a certain degree. Because people will drain you, and we've had that conversation. It's like, I don't know if told you this now. I know I've had it with someone else. It's like you have your neighbor, and you and your neighbor doing the same thing with your house, and your neighbor keeps saying, "Oh, I need such and such," and because, like you said, we love people and we have a giving heart and we want to see people succeed. We're constantly giving them the materials and the tools they need to build their house. And one day you wake up in the morning, their house is completed, and your foundation is barely done. So you intentionally, okay, allow this person to deplete you of everything, and in Christ, he's there, he gives to us, but it's not just to keep take. You have to give back. You have to give back, and you have to know when enough is enough.
That's what makes a good relationship.
Absolutely.
If you each give 100%, there's no such thing as 50-50. You both have to give 100%.
That's it.
Otherwise, it's not going to work. That's why we work.
There you go.
And
how many years?
46.
Amen. Go ahead. That's beautiful.
We haven't killed each other yet.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You don't see it too many. You don't see that too often nowadays, anyway. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I do want to say, I did get an email from Joe Condor. So yes, Joe Condor, you will get you an ebook, a free ebook. I haven't checked everyone else yet, but if you did send it, go ahead and let me know you sent the email, because he did just send me an email. So he definitely, yes, sir, you will get one. And again, I hope to kind of like connect with you so we can collaborate on something. I would truly enjoy that.
And I would like to say, if you're listening to the podcast, would you please go ahead and give it a shot and see if there are any free ebooks left.
Even if it's a day or two after, or 10 days after, or 100 days after, go ahead and email Annie.
We have
and
one more comment, but we're running out of time.
Sometimes there's extra books to be had.
Absolutely.
Joe Conjal says, awesome, thanks. Okay, and
all right.
I'm afraid we've run out of time, people.
I've had a wonderful time. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And again, everyone, you have my contact information. Please feel free to reach out. If it's to have a discussion, I'm open to that as well. Anything that I can assist you with, if I can, I'll be a resource. If not, I'll see if I can help you find a resource for it. That is truly who I am. So again, I'll say it. You can reach me at insurancebyAnnie@gmail.com or familywealthandsuccess.org or 813-846-8669. Joan and Rob, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to move you over to the side here.
Thanks for joining us. Over. There we go. Shoot, that's tough to do.
I can't do that.
That's tough to do. So that was great. That's not the last we're going to see from Annie. That's for sure. Let's see here. Good evening, Joy says. Joe said, really enjoyed tonight's show. Thank you, Annie. And as always, Joan and Rob.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Join us the next 3 weeks. A reminder for those that may have, and for those that may have joined us late, we're going to be traveling the rest of the month. So the next 3 episodes are going to be pre-recorded, but they're brand new episodes. We enjoyed doing them. Just pretend like we're time traveling, okay?
And if we're at a place where we can, where we have good internet, we'll be able to put up comments and respond to comments.
Next week is James Whelpley. Here's his book right here.
You'll enjoy him.
Yep.
Wonderful author. All of you authors that are listening, you're going to really appreciate him.
21st is Shaniqua Karanja.
Yes.
And on the
With an important
28th,
topic.
it's S. Lewis Campbell. And then on October 5th, we're going to have the reveal part 3 of Magnolia Bluff Crime Chronicles.
Hallelujah, finally.
So, I guess.
The last 3 episodes.
Yeah, the last
You
one.
better tune in, Joe, so you can get your free copies.
Yeah, there you go.
You can read the whole series.
All righty. Well, I guess until next time.
That's all, folks.
Thank you for joining us here on Meet the Author. Make sure you stay up to date with our show by clicking like, follow, and share. And you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and more. See you next time on WLFE-DB.com.
You've been listening to WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows.